Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Off to Bed is part of HABA's My First Game series, and I like getting these for my younger children. I currently have a 3-year-old, and I thought he is having trouble going to bed at night, that this might be a great game to kind of reinforce that scheduling and what you need to do before you go to bed, and I think it really does shine that. There are a few versions of the game to play, like bingo and stuff, but there is a cooperative and a competitive game inside the box. I find the cooperative game to be much better, especially at this age, because I'm not really trying to play a game and win, per se. I'm trying to reinforce that I want him to go to bed. And this is like a little bit of a pattern that we would do when we go to bed and be excited about going to bed. So we play this game before he goes to bed. And I think it works perfectly to reinforce kind of what you're doing there. And he likes flipping over the tiles and putting the animals to bed. And then he goes to bed, and it works perfectly for that. The game is fine, flipping over a tile. If you play strictly by the rules, it is just luck. But he is understanding that these tiles go together, and he's learning the association of that. He's learning to take his turn, and he's learning that going to bed and what the goals of the game is and how a cooperative game works. I mean, quite frankly, I didn't really know how a cooperative game works until I was in my 20s, because I didn't know that they existed. So it's a very cool atmosphere to play this in. The box is a little bigger than it needs to be, but this is a fun little game for the kids. If you're having trouble getting a little guy or girl to go to bed, this will definitely reinforce it. Winner for us. We're going to keep this one. Here is Off to Bed, a mid-sized box for HABA. It's got a really cute bear on the front, and it'd be very attractive. It's part of the My First Game series. We open up, you get a rule book, which we'll take a look in a few minutes, and then you're going to have a box that is way too big. But you're going to have big, nice, chunky pieces for these guys. They're not double-sided, but they do have this already printed on them, so you don't have to sticker them. You're going to get a bunch of cardboard pieces that will be big and chunky for the little kids that will be playing this. Things are super cute in here. You can see this and the tiles. So the components are pretty good. They'll hold up. The box is just a whole lot bigger than it needs to be. Here's a rule book. You can see it comes in many different languages. We'll open it up to the English here. You have a little note for the parents. Components with no pictures. There's a free play if you just want to play with the smallest of kids, and a little game here. And there's a couple games here that they have in here. And HABA does that a lot with the younger ones if you want to age up a little bit. And a third one if you just want to fool around with the components. I like this one the best, Making a Bet. I think that really works well for my family and my kid now, who is 3. But the rules just take, 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes to read each one. You're up and going. So here, this version of the game will be set up like this. Maybe you'll have your characters down here, and then you just turn over a tile, and you talk about it. If it's a blanket, for example, you take the blanket, and you'll take the character it goes with, and maybe put on him and start getting him ready for bed. The next person will do the next one, and if it's one of these, then you line it up. You can maybe talk about like a storybook or whatever. If you get everybody with all of their stuff in bed with their blanket and their pillow, and they're ready to go to bed for all of the characters, then you win. If all 8 of these tiles come out, then you lose. But the idea of the game is to flip over a tile, get their lovey with them, and they were going, and talk about going to bed and kind of reasserting that going to bed process as you're going through this. The other way to play is competitively, where each player gets one of these people, and the same thing, you're putting one of each of these back in, and you want to flip one over, and if you grab it for your person, then he takes it. If you get all 4 of your items, then you win the game. If you flip over, in this version, you flip over one of these over here, you flip it back down, and people have to remember where it's at so they don't choose it again. First person to get all of their items together wins. There's a third game where you can also play bingo, but that seems a little bit tacked on to me. But these are the 2 main versions. I prefer, with the little ones, just play this one cooperatively. Who should buy this game? Anybody looking their kid into a first game. This is a great one to get. It reinforces that going to bed routine, and I think parents are going to struggle with that, and this will be a really cool one to kind of get their kid. Let's put bear to bed. Let's put chicken to bed. Let's put bunny to bed, and it works fairly well. And I know my kid has been getting more excited about going to bed because he's been role-playing it through this game. It has a competitive and cooperative game. I like the cooperative game a lot more. And, if you're looking to get something for your kid and you want to break the bank, and this one's like $14.99, this will definitely be one of those that you should track down. Off to Bed. Keeper.